today, foxvalleycoins.com.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios.
Insert Democrat socialist here.
Runs the Democratic House floor for 30 plus years running. He's promising this and he's stealing that. Where can you get that kind of money? He's using your house like his own piggy bank. You ought to know by now. You can pay off your house here in Illinois, but you can never keep up with the taxes. Oh, how it's always been the plan to have a taxpayer pay, no doubt. Not a matter of if anymore, but when you're moving out. I said, when you're moving out.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. That song means it's time for our weekly conversation with Ted Dabrowski, president of Wirepoints, wirepoints.org, all things Illinois policy related. This sign at the 16th District Police Station in Chicago, that's Jefferson Park.
Yeah.
This was posted in the window. Be advised there is only one officer working the 16th District desk today, and the wait times may be incredibly long. To save yourself an hour or better, please consider visiting our fully staffed District 17 at 4650 North Pulaski or the 25th at 5555 West Grand and cut your wait times by an hour or better.
The butcher, take a number.
That
maybe we'll get to you, maybe we won't.
Yeah, it's sort of the same situation when you call 911 as if when you show up to the police precinct. That's a bit concerning. Ted Dabrowski joins us. Ted, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hey, Dan. Hey, Amy.
I know crime is down. It's basically a non-issue at this point. But, still people, maybe they're just visiting the police station because they want to get a tour of the facility or something. But I don't know. It seems like you should have your police precincts fully staffed.
Well, yeah, you would think if you get there, you need something, you're going to find somebody. But, it's timely that you mentioned this. We just got the data back. We did a new FOIAs on how well the police is doing in responding to crimes, and not just normal crimes, but the more urgent ones. They're called level 1 and level 2, and we'll be putting out the data soon. But we've reported this for a couple of years now. 50 to 60% of those urgent calls, there is no police to answer. And guess what? Despite our screens and pointing it out, it should be an embarrassment to everybody. The numbers are pretty much the same. We're gonna continue to have, half to 60% of these calls where somebody's calling in. Somebody could be shot. Somebody could be facing an armed robbery, and there's no police available. And that's what's fascinating. And so usually the police will eventually make it, but it might be an hour and a half later when it's too late. And that says a lot about the leadership of our city and the fact that our police are handcuffed. Some people say there's not enough police. I'm not sure about that, but it truly is a disaster, and especially when you look at this past weekend, 79 shootings, lots of deaths. Continues. Same old, I guess.
Same old. And but something new is happening with respect to CPS. This is exciting. We've got candidates out there getting their petition signatures so they can prepare to run for school board. An elected school board in Chicago is going to change everything.
You bet. So this is important for a lot of people who are trying to make some change. We're going from a seven members on the board appointed by the mayor today to 21 board members, 10 of which will be voted in November, and 11 will be appointed by the mayor in November. So we have a shot at first, influencing what the board does. And there's a big debate about whether it's a waste of time to do this or whether, hey, this is the first chance we've had in a long time to actually influence how CPS does things. So let's get serious about it.
Well, CTU is getting people that they know to run for board.
Of course.
And 21 board members, they're not going to get anything accomplished.
Well, sure they will. Well, there'll be a rubber stamp. You have 11 appointees of the mayor, so you have 11 CTU appointees, so you already have the majority you need. And I'm sure even if you had a couple of renegades somehow get onto the school board, you're going to be overwhelmed by the appointees and probably some of the electeds as well. So it's just going to be a rubber stamp with a patina of some are elected.
Yeah, I kind of liken this. I want people who get too excited about change. It's hard to get conservative Republicans sometimes to do the right thing. So how you have, a board member who has to face all the pressures of Chicago, how will they, have the what do you call it, the strength to take on the union, to take on the system, and say something like, hey, let's disband the school somewhat and have school choice. It's going to take a lot of
yeah, right. I wonder, too, maybe we could get some conservatives on the reparations task force that BLM Brandon has stood up now. He announced the other day. Get that ball rolling as well. Maybe we could see robust debate there, too, because we have a task force. He's not just doing it with a wave of a wand. He is getting serious people together in a task force to come up with a number that is fair.
Well, yeah, you want to get all sides represented there and, have a good discussion, let the community hear about it. A lot like the pension task force that he created a year ago, which, it kind of disappeared. Nothing's come out. This kind of stuff is this reparations task force. It's, again, it's more of the same, but, he's serious about this. He doesn't care about pension reform, but he does care about reparations. And, this is the kind of stuff that is what I call, there's a bunch of bad decisions that can be made, in Chicago at the state level. And then there's destructive type policies that can be passed that hurt and create deep scar tissue on the city. And this would be one of them because, we've got to be careful. It's become so racialized. He's made it so racialized in Chicago that he's going to get what he asked for, and that's not going to be a good thing.
I can't wrap $500,000 to put a task force together. Doesn't that seem a little high?
How much should the task force be?
I don't know. I mean, I just $500,000. I don't know.
Force for the Twigs, where we're talking about reparations that are going to be in the tens of billions.
And then how are they going to decide who gets what? And then Dan thinks it's going to be. What did you predict?
You begin at Evanston and you build your way to what they're talking about in San Francisco or Boston, and and then you adjust for population size differences, and let's. As I said, if it's $15 billion in Boston, if it's $50 billion for the new CTU contract, I don't know. Maybe you come in around $75 billion, Ted. What do you think?
Well, yeah, and you got to remember we have, we can do it over a few years, right? So,
sure.
Doing over a few
Make
years,
installment payments. Well, as soon as Bally's gets built, then then we'll have all the money we need.
Yeah, and if not, we can just borrow it from the market.
Yeah, legalize prostitution
like
or something.
Social bonds.
They're running out of things to tax.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
you can increase the taxes on the things you're already taxing.
There you go.
Yeah, there's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. That's what
tax the rich.
Brandon Johnson says. Jelly Belly, Governor Pritzker, he tweeted out, "My mission?" ? Were you wondering what your governor's mission was? If you don't know it in his second term, then I don't know how effective he's communicating. But just so you know, my mission the question no one is asking, it is to make Illinois the best state in the nation to raise a family. How close are we, Ted, to making Illinois the best nation in the state to raise a family? Are we close?
Oh my goodness, that's almost funny. I guess it depends what kind of family. And I'm surprised you use the word family because that might be no longer proper as well.
Birthing parents.
Yeah, this is kind of goes back to the whole equity thing. We've had the most progressive, one of the most progressive governments in the country. And then you had the likes of Lightfoot, and you got Johnson, you have equity coming out the wazoo. But if you look, especially if you're a black family or if you're black, the results are horrendous across the board when you look at nationwide results. Highest black unemployment in Chicago, in the country for the big cities. Illinois is right up there at 1 or 2 for highest black unemployment. Poverty, number 3 in the country when it comes to Chicago. They've made a mess. And things have gotten worse under Governor Pritzker. So
So we're close. I got it. Okay. All right. We're close. Yeah, we're right there. It's interesting because Nick Kristof, who is a leftist, but he's sometimes willing to criticize the left to, sort of give the appearance that he's even-handed and fair-minded, which I don't really think he is. But nonetheless, he is a man of the left. As Democrats make their case to voters around the country this fall, one challenge is that some of the bluest parts of the country, cities on the West Coast, are a mess. Centrist voters can reasonably ask, why put liberals in charge nationally when the places where they have the greatest control are plagued by homelessness, crime, and dysfunction? He goes on to say, to write, we're more likely to believe that housing is a human right than conservatives in Florida or Texas, but less likely to actually get people housed. We accept a yawning gulf between our values and our outcomes. Well, that's all true, and it also doesn't appear to matter very much, does it?
Well, yeah, I'm not sure what really matters. Most of this, I think, you can just devolve down into power and money, and what they say is just how they get elected and how they keep their power. But as we're talking about these results, if you look at stuff, you look at places like Jacksonville, you look at places where in the South, and you look at some of these black-white metrics, they are far better in the deep racist, deep redneck states of the South than they are in Chicago, where we care so much about equity and blacks. So it's the exact opposite, and I think really what we need to look at, and that's what we propose, right? Is more free market principles that actually create more jobs, that create more success for blacks. It's why people are moving to Houston and Dallas and Atlanta, because blacks can actually succeed there. They can actually have a successful business and entrepreneurship there.
When are we going to see that new 911 data you got?
We'll try to put it out next week.
All right, very good. Ted Dabrowski, president of Wirepoints, wirepoints.org, all things Illinois policy related. Thanks, Ted.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Welcome to Face the Music, sponsored by Fox Valley Coins in Naperville. Today's guest, President Donald J. Trump.
Make it fast. I'm in a court recess.
So, Mr. Trump, what did you learn during your first term in office?
Inflation is bad. Very bad. Unless you're overestimating the crowd size at a rally. You should also surround yourself with loyal people, tremendous people. Some say I am the greatest of all time. I should be on Mount Rushmore.
Well, good luck with that, sir. Remember, Face the Music is brought to you by